You gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
Let us start by lying down on our blocks for a supported fish. And what I would say with this particular supported fish, whilst I back up to my mat, is that use the block horizontally. So it goes across the back of the shoulder blades like this, rather than our normal way of going down the center of the spine. So you kind of want to position it somewhere in the where the crop top or the bra strap lives. Now, you have two levels that you can choose on that, either your lowest or your medium. And if you go with the lowest, then your head supporting block will be on its highest. Okay, so as we come down to make ourselves comfortable in supported fish here, we just allow the shoulders to open, palms open up towards the sky so that you can relax into the wrists, relaxing into the elbows, relaxing into the shoulders and the chest. And making sure that those blocks aren't digging in anywhere. So they're not causing you discomfort. And the legs can be anyhow for you. I'm going to take a butterfly pose, a nice loose butterfly. So soles of my feet are slightly away from me, knees just resting out to the sides of my mat. But you can keep the legs long. You might like to can keep them in constructive rest. But whatever the legs are doing, they are relaxed and, again, comfortable and easy. So maybe you keep the eyes open just for a moment. Try not to relax too much. This is a morning practice for us today, but you might be practicing this of an evening. So just keeping the eyes open and finding a single point of gaze up above you to focus on. Find that drishti as the eyes start to focus on that and hone in to a single point. It might be just a dot on the ceiling above you, or there's no dot at all. Hopefully no bright lights. And start to allow the peripheral vision to blur out, so you're really tunneling in to this one point. As you start to let the eyes soften, the forehead relaxes, the temples release, the jaw lets go of any tightness and tension. The facial expression softens, and you might like to invite a little smile, lifting the corners of the mouth up as you've made it to your mat today. Just thank yourself. And as we start to feel that smile radiate across our face, radiate into our eyes smile with our mouth. And we can take that smile internally, bringing a sense of inner joy and inner contentment, which leads me to tell you about our theme of Santosha, one of the Niyamas, one of the 8 limbs of yoga. And the Niyamas are guidelines or behaviors of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. And Santosha is finding acceptance, finding ease, finding contentment, finding joy in what is, not what isn't. So what we do have, but not what we don't have. Being content. And that can run through our yoga practice. You know, sometimes we think, I wish I was more flexible, I wish I was stronger, I wish I had more endurance or more core strength. I wish I could do that posture with that arm balance. But sometimes that just takes practice. And that takes time and commitment and dedication. But finding contentment each and every time you come to your mat will bring fulfillment and joy. So just drawing that theme into your intention, a heartfelt intention. Draw it in from the heart center. Breathing deep, breathing softly, breathing with ease. Breathe that intention of Santosha for your practice today. So just bring some movement back into the fingers, wiggling the thumbs, stroking the tips of the fingers with the tips of the thumbs, and then clenching and stretching just through the hands, curling the fingers in, clenching the fists, and then releasing and stretching the fingers away, stretching the space between each finger. And notice how that feels into the wrists, into the forearms. And then start to circle the wrists out, just resting on the elbows, circling one way. And rotating the other. And then just flip the palms over by the hips. And if you had butterfly, you might like to use those hands to lift those thighs back up, placing the soles of the feet down onto the mat. And then use the elbows to bring them underneath the shoulders. So we're coming into a little bit of a kind of a prop up, so that we can then gently lift our head away from the block, looking along our body towards our knees. We're gently drawing navel in towards the spine. Keep on opening up through the chest, through the shoulders. And then gently roll over, take the blocks away, place them to one side, and lie fully down on your back. And take as much space as you have around you. So take the feet wide, take the arms out to the side, spread the shoulder blades. So that means lifting up the upper and middle back, spreading the shoulder blades apart. Relaxing into the buttocks, spreading out the glutes underneath you, relaxing into the legs, softening into the ankles and the feet, and feeling what it's like just to lie flat on the mat without any props beneath you. Wiggle the hips, give the buttocks a little massage. That in turn wiggles down through the legs. You get a calf massage, you release into the feet and the ankles, and you might even go up into the upper body and get a little kind of upper rib cage and shoulder massage. And then just slow that down and release. Turn the head to look over one shoulder, just releasing through the neck. Breathe in, lift the head back into center, take it to the other side, look towards the other hand. Breathe in to center. This time we're going to lift our head and look along the body. So just the head and the neck, shoulders stay down, stretch the back of the neck there. Full chin to chest, navel to spine, spine to mat, And then gently roll that back down. Back of the head comes down. Bring the feet together, point the toes, lift the arms up above the head. Big, big morning stretch. Big, big stretch down the sides of the body. The back gently pulls away from the mat. And then flex the feet, push the soles away. Keep breathing, keep stretching. And then relax as you breathe out and draw the knees in towards the chest. Lengthen the neck, lengthen the spine, lengthen the tailbone. Give yourself that big hug. And then start to move those knees around one way. Again, getting a little massage into the lower back, stemming from the pelvis and the hips, and then rotating the other way. Open out the knees, take them one side of the mat, and then circle inwards, just getting into the hip joints. And then place the soles of the feet back down onto the mat, toes pointing forward. So they come a little bit further away from you. And this is just a little bit of core work that we are going to introduce. Get some energy into our body. So, I don't know if I can do that this morning. So just lifting up, upper body, shoulders come away from the mat. We look towards the knees and then we exhale, we roll down. We do 10 of these. So we're on 9 and lower. Gosh, I'm finding that challenging. 8. I'm keeping smiling. I'm finding the joy. 7. And 6. Pull navel to spine, spine to mat. 5. I'm not getting very high. 4. 3. Oh my goodness. 2. And last one. 1. And stay. Reach the fingers towards the ankles. Relax the shoulders from the ears, head and upper shoulders off the mat. Nice. Pulling navel into spine, spine to mat. Nice. Reach the arms back up over the head as you roll down. This time we're going to come all the way up. So the arms kind of give you a little bit of oomph here, I hope. Oh! After the first one, it's a little bit easier, trust me. So from here, we do 10 roll downs. Roll down through the spine. You can take the arms up above the head and lift them back up. Try to keep the feet down, she says, whilst her feet come off the mat. 8. 7. Use each and every vertebra of the spine as you roll down. Try not to miss anything out. 6. I didn't miss 7 out there. I was just talking at the same time. 5. Keep it going. 4. Oh. And for those who wanted energy, I hope you've got it. Last 1, coming up and roll it down and bring it back up. Stay nice and tall through the spine, sit tall and just lean back slightly. Lean, lean, lean. Nice chest open to the front and then maybe lift one toe. Shins parallel to the sky, lower it down, lift the other toe, keep the chest nice and lifted. And maybe both toes come into that half boat pose. Oh, balance on the sit bones. Good. And then from there, we can swing the legs around behind us. Well done. Woo! That was a good morning workout for me. Come to tabletop position and just find your cat and cow from here. So hoping that that little bit of core work kind of made us focus on our core, on our front and our back bodies, because that's what we're going to need today through our heart-centered Santosha practice. So inhale for cow, exhale rounding for cat. Notice how the spine moves with the flow of your breath. And then for the last time, we'll just come back to neutral. Tuck the toes. Press back through the heels. We're going to press down through the hands and the toes, lifting the knees about an inch away from the floor. So it's a hovering tabletop. Let's hold there. Keep pushing away from the floor. Elbows are nice and straight and strong. Wrists nice and strong. Shoulders broad. Hovering. 5 more counts. Lower the knees. Release to a wide leg child's pose. Bring the head to the hands or reach the hands ahead of you. Just settle out, relax the belly, relax the core, front, back, and sides. So I mentioned contentment, I mentioned Santosha. We all think, oh, I need more core work in my yoga practice, or I need a stronger core. Well, the core is our front, back, and sides, but today we're particularly working through our back body core. So remind yourself of your own personal intention for practice today, contentment. Finding joy in what is. Let's lift up, slide the hands forward, come into a melting heart pose. Bring the knees parallel. Drop the chest down towards the floor, keep the hips nice and high, and you can always bring the elbows back just a little bit if those shoulders feel tight. Pressing down through the tops of the feet, feeling heaviness into the back body here, so particularly between the shoulder blades. Shoulder blades kind of sink towards one another. Navel lifts towards spine. From here, slide forward, find your forearm plank. And of course, options are that you can keep the knees down. Maybe you want to challenge your core and tuck the toes and come into your forearm plank from there. We have 10 counts here. Smiling, finding the focus just down at the mat. From here, we lower the pubic bone, lower the hips, release the top of the feet, come into Sphinx pose. Press down through the tops of the feet, move the arms accordingly. Maybe they need to come forward a little bit. And just make sure those thighs roll underneath you, so not outwards. All 10 toes touching the mat. Navel pulls in gently, chest opens, shoulders relaxed, facial expression soft. Nice and slowly, we roll down, bringing the head to the back of the hands. We bring the big toes to touch, and those inner thighs can then, the thighs can then turn inwards as we soften, give this hips a little shake out and relax. Widening the feet, maybe as wide as your mat, maybe a little bit wider than the hips, that's okay. Bringing the hands to the top corners, we're going to take 10 seal roll ups. So just pushing up, trying to straighten the arms, dropping pubic bone and lower down. Nice, shoulders away from the ears. Let's do 9 more. Inhale on the lift, exhale on the lower. 8, 7, keep those 10 toes touching the floor. 'Not locking out at the elbows, just gently straightening. 4, 3, 2, and last one, we come up and we stay and hold just for 5 breaths. Seal does not have to be too high. The arms always can come forward. Letting the shoulders soften away from the ears, drawing navel to spine. And slowly bend at the elbow, roll down, head to hands. Good work. Bring big toes to touch, heels fall out, and just roll out the hips. Release into the pelvis, the hips, and the lower back here. Feel that softness after we come out of those back bends. So we're going to give our back a little release here and go into our quads. Our right hand comes back to take hold of our right foot, drawing that right heel in. Head comes to the back of the hand or the forearm. Gently drawing that hip flexor of the right leg down towards the floor, lengthening the thigh towards the end of your mat, and then gently release. Change sides, left arm goes back. Lift it up and lengthen, head to the hand or the forearm. And gently release. Bring the head back onto the hands once more. Big toes touch. Just release and sway out through those thighs. Releasing the arms back behind you this time. So the arms are by the side of the body. Head is facing forward. Lift up into locust. Reach the fingertips back towards the heels. Lower down. We're just going to do 5 of these. And lift. Keeping the feet pressing down to the mat. Just the upper body. 3. Using those back extensor muscles. 2. Last one. We come up, we stay, we hold for 5 breaths. Not 5 counts. Reach fingers back towards the heels. Shoulders away from ears, facial expression relaxed and smiling. She says, and lower it down. Take the cheek to the mat this time and relax the shoulders. Give yourself that little hip wiggle. And then bring the arms forward. Push up through your cobra. Pull back to tabletop and round out to child's pose. Just gently come into child's pose there, just observing how many back bends we just did from Sphinx. Well, actually, heart pose, Sphinx, seal, and locust. So just soften over the lower back, mid back. Walk the hands back towards the knees. You're probably at the back of your mat, so if your feet are trailing, which mine were, just bring the feet back up onto the end of the mat. Hands come behind you, and if the fingertips don't quite meet the floor, you can place them on your blocks there, but roll the shoulders out of the way of your chest, so pulling the shoulder blades together, and we lift the heart center. And it's a little back bend. It's not a camel, but from here, we're going to lift our hips away from the floor and come into our quad stretch from there. So we're thinking shoulders, hips, and knees in alignment. Keep lifting the hips, pushing the pubic bone up towards the sky. Head can look along the body, look forward or up towards the sky, but try not to let the neck drop back behind you. Lower that down. Nice. Slide the hands forward, tuck the toes, and come into your downward facing dog. Pedaling out through the feet, starting to release through the toes now, through the feet, through the ankles, through the Achilles, the back of the thighs. What am I saying? Back of the calves. I'm looking at my thighs whilst I'm saying the word. So just notice how the spine, how the shoulders, how the core is already starting to feel. When you're ready, releasing both heels together, finding downward facing dog. Let's hold for 5 breaths. You can always come to tabletop and child's pose should you need to, and bend the knees if those hamstrings feel particularly tight. Start internally rotating the kind of latissimus dorsi, I think it is. Those muscles that are just underneath the armpits. Roll them up towards your chest. And then looking forward to the front of the mat, start to walk the feet all the way. And come to the front and find a nice loose fold. So if you don't want to be in a fold, you can have your elbows resting on your knees with a nice long spine here. To just bend the knees nice and softly. If you're in a fold, you might like to take hold of the elbows and just release there. Again, knees are slightly bent. So sway out gently through the hips and the spine. Just rocking from side to side. And then come into a forward fold from here, Uttanasana. So maybe the feet come together just a little bit, keeping the weight equally spread. Start to lift the sit bones up. Navel draws in. We're pulling belly and chest close to the thighs. Crown of the head points down towards the floor. We're not gripping into the toes. And then use the core to roll up through the spine. You might take the hands to the thighs as you do this, but think about each and every vertebra rolling up one after the other. We come all the way up to stand and we release the shoulders, coming into mountain pose and just letting everything settle back into alignment as we stand. So maybe we realign the head, the neck, the shoulders, the chest, the torso, the belly, the spine lengthens. We just observe the position, the tilting of the pelvis. Are we arching gently, or are we pushing forward, or are we in a neutral place there? We can be light into the toes, light into the heels, finding that evenness of the weight spread across the entire feet. And we're gently drawing up from the tops of the knees, up through the quadriceps. And then once we've done all of those modifications and fidgeting and adjustments, we just find stillness. Maybe the eyes gently closed. Or you can again take a soft gaze in front of you, that single point of gaze, the drishti. And start to turn the corners of the mouth up into a gentle smile for all just the wonderful work that you've already done. Let's get into a little bit of a flow. We're going to introduce our wild thing. And we can make some modifications for wild things. So standing at the top of our mat, breathing in, lifting the arms up. Little salute there to the sun. Exhale, swan dive, either with bent or straight legs. We inhale, ripple up to a half spinal lift. We exhale, we step back with our left leg and find a high or a low lunge. So a low lunge, you're just simply dropping the back knee, or you can take it up into a high lunge with a straight or a bent back leg. Arms raise up. We do 4, grabbing and reaching forward over that front thigh, and then we bring it back into our back bend. 3 more, ripple forward, reach, pull something in towards the heart, open it up and share it. 2 more. And last one. Stay and hold in that back bend. Just find the stability through the legs. Find the strength in the core. Relax the shoulders, relax the elbows. Then release the hands to the mat. Ground the hands here, and we sweep our right leg all the way back up behind us into a 3-legged dog. So find your 3-legged dog, and then we're going to move into our wild thing on the left side of our mat. So that right leg goes over and drops down to the floor. So you're going to start to face the back of your mat. That's it, nice. And keep that right knee bent there with that right foot planted. And this might be enough. You might just lift here, or you can lift the hips, pointing that left toe, reaching up into your wild thing. We're not doing a fallen triangle today. We're just working on our back bends and our core strength. Bring yourself back into center plank. And find a connecting vinyasa of choice, whether that is a chaturanga up dog or knees, chest, chin, cobra. Back into down dog. Nice. Find a tabletop or child's pose as you need. Slow and steady the breath. My heart rate just increased there to 90. Just by doing a wild thing. And my resting heart rate's about 48. Looking forward, walking the feet towards the hands at the front of your mat. Come into your half lift. Once you get there, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release and fold into the forward fold. Forward folds are so important when we do a load of back bends. Press through the feet, lift up. Find an upward salute, maybe with a back bend. And then the hands come back and they come down to the heart center. So finding Samastiti, thumbs resting against the sternum. Take a moment to pause, just take in the work you've just done. Remind yourself, Santosha, contentment with what is. Release the hands down. Find stillness in Tadasana. Let's go second side. Breathe it in, lift the arms up. Exhale, swan dive, straight or bent legs. Inhale into the half lift, lengthen the spine away. Exhale, fold. This time, send the right leg back. Find a low or a high lunge. I'm going to take a low lunge just for this one. You can release to the top of the feet. Arms raised, and then we do those 4 little ripples. So bringing the arms forwards. Inhale, lift them back. Ripple forward, exhale. And back bend, bring them back. Twice more. Slow, steady, controlled, stable movements. The last time, we stay and hold in that back bend. Maybe the gaze is to the sky, maybe the gaze is forward. The shoulders and the elbows are relaxed, the wrists are soft, the palms are open, gifting, receiving, heart is open. Find the smile. And then we release the hands to the floor. Plant the hands. I'm going to sweep left leg all the way back up. 3-legged dog. Find your 3-legged dog. And then we drop that leg over to the right side of our mat this time. So we're facing the other way. Bending into that left knee, and the left foot is firmly planted on the floor. Nice. Lifting up, and maybe the buttocks stay on the floor and you just lift the gaze. This is a variation that you can do. Or you can start to lift the hips, pushing up. Now this, yes, is an arm balance technically because we are on that right arm. Coming back into plank. Lowering knees, chest, chin, or chaturangas, cobras and up dogs. Back into down dog. Find a tabletop or a child's pose if you wish. Remember, your practice is your own. What I might be doing might not feel right to you. So finding a modification that does work. When the energy starts to dwindle just a little bit, making sure that you feel at ease, feel content, not anxious. And then nice and slowly, we lower the knees down and we take our arms back behind us as our head comes to the floor or onto a block. Soften out through the shoulders and the chest. Feel the belly releasing to the thighs. And then nice and slowly bring the hands forward and roll up through the spine to kneeling. Just find a kneel here, sitting tall, just settling, just as we did at the front of our mat in Tadasana. Settle the facial expression, settle the shoulders, navel gently pulls back, nice long spine. Letting the breath become steady and the heart rate settle. And just rock over to one hip, swing the legs out in front of you. Maybe shuffle forward of your mat just a little bit so the heels come to the front. Sit nice and tall. Let's take a full forward fold here, lifting up the arms. Reach high and reach over. Navel pulls gently back in towards the spine, exhaling, releasing. Softening face, softening shoulders. If those hamstrings feel particularly tight or the spine feels tight, bend into the knees. I'd rather see someone over like this in a forward fold and really struggling, because the body is not allowing them to go where I am. But again, it's your body and we should be content with what we have. Nice and slowly bring yourself back up. And we're going to bring our left leg in to our half butterfly or head to knee pose. So letting that knee just gently drop out to the side. We might give it a little press. Lifting up the arms and exhale once more over the extended leg, dropping through the left shoulder. Grounding through both sit bones. Letting the chest come parallel to that extended leg. From here, bring yourself up. The left hand goes behind you and this knee will just rock over onto the floor as we start to roll up into our baby wild thing, opening up the chest, sweeping the arm back around behind you, and maybe it does a big full circle to bring you all the way back down to the floor. Nice. Extend the legs, lift up the arms. Exhale, second time, Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Give those sit bones a little release, let the flesh become free from underneath you. Let the head relax down towards the knees, rounding out through the spine, softening into the shoulders. Lengthen, bring yourself back up. Right leg comes in this time, either to the calf or to the thigh. Give that knee just a little press out to the side. Sit nice and tall. Arms raise. And then once more, reach up and reach over the extended leg. Dropping down through the right shoulder, centering off the chest to the extended leg. We don't need to force, we don't need to overstretch. We just allow ourselves to go into the pose with ease. Lengthen, lift. Right hand this time goes back behind you. We roll over onto our right knee, lifting up those hips and opening that arm in a big, big circle so that you can get that shoulder opening all the way around. And when we come back down to the mat, we're going to bring our knees to the front of our mat. And then dropping down in towards our hero pose. So if you've got blocks, you might want to put a block underneath the buttocks. Knees are in line with the hips. We can just gently get the flesh of our calves away. And if the ankles, if your tops of your feet feel really tight and uncomfortable, I haven't got anything here, but if you have a rolled up blanket or a rolled up towel, you can slide that underneath the ankles, as my dad tends to use because he has very tight ankles here. So I'm sitting on a block here, but you don't have to, of course. If your buttocks are meeting the mat, that's great. And we're going to move into our hero. So if our knees are really, really screaming at us, maybe we do a half hero first. And again, we can use the block underneath that right buttock. So my block is under there. And this might be enough, or maybe you go back here. But if you're going into your hero pose, I'll let you make that choice as how much you go back. So knees are still pulling down towards the floor. The knees aren't coming off here. We're pulling the knees down. This is going to get you into the quadriceps. It's going to get into the psoas, into the hip flexors, into the back bends. So we're likely to stay here for about 10 to 12 breaths. So if you have got one leg in front, I'm going to let you know when to change. So changing now to the other leg. Again, propping up the buttocks if you need to with a block underneath the extended leg buttock. Left leg should be in front, right leg should be bent. And padding out those ankles if they feel tight. Anybody in? Just the hero. Give in 5 more breaths. Find that smile. Turn the corners of the mouth up. Bring that smile into your eyes. Bring that smile inwards, inner smile. Let your heart's intention smile. Coming out of the pose as you went in. Steady, steady, steady. Bring the arms back. We bring the elbows underneath the body just as we did at the beginning in our supported fish, looking along the body, and then we can start to press into the hands, coming back up to seated and just staying in that posture for a moment. Nice work. So coming out, just lift up, and we're going to come down onto our backs. So swinging the legs around in front of you, give yourself the space. Have a block handy by the side of you because we might use that when we get down onto the floor. So gently roll down, thinking about each and every vertebra. Gosh, my back isn't working. Oh, and then draw the knees in. Roll and massage out through the spine. Breathe out, lengthen tailbone, spread the rib cage, spread the shoulders. There's no tension in the neck, there's no tension in the face. We have that wonderful content smile. Our eyes are smiling and our heart is smiling. Roll and massage out. Open the knees as you need to, get into the hips. Not too much hip work today because we were focusing on our quads and our back body and our hamstrings in forward folds. The only kind of hip work is the baby wild thing and your head to big no, head to knee. I was going to say head to big knee. Soles of the feet come down wide of your mat. Let the knees drop in towards one another. Bring the arms up into cactus as you spread the shoulder blades apart. Backs of the hands might come down. See if you can get all 5 fingernails of each hand down onto the floor. If not, that's okay. Now open the knees, keep the feet where they are, and then drop the knees over to the left and turn the gaze to look towards your right elbow. Find a reclined windscreen twist there. Breathe the head back into center. Breathe the knees back into center. If you don't like the arms in cactus, that doesn't feel good, you can release them down to shoulder height. Let the knees drop over to the right, rolling on the inner and outer edges of the feet. Lift the head and look towards your left elbow. Try and relax out through that left thigh, the trailing leg. Relax out through the glutes and the pelvic floor. Breathe the head back into the center. Breathe the knees back into the center. Release the hands down onto the belly. Spread the back and just find constructive rest. Knees gently dropping in towards one another. Toes slightly pigeon-toed. Relax into the ankles, calves, legs and buttocks. Heel toe, feet back into parallel with the hips, taking hold of your block, placing that underneath your lower back, either on the medium level or the lowest. So lowest level or medium. I'm going to go medium. I wouldn't say go high, but just finding that nice comfortable position, making sure that that block's nice and stable. It's not on a tilt. It's fully planted and grounded. So finding supported bridge, letting those hips just drop down into the block, letting the buttocks relax over the end. Again, spread the shoulders. You can choose cactus arms, or the arms can stay down by the side of you. So find that position and just give in to the weight onto the block, soften through the pelvic floor. Keeping the gaze up towards the sky, just listen to the cues rather than look at the screen. Keeping the left foot nice and planted, we're going to lift the right knee and just squeeze it in towards the chest. Go easy here, because what tends to happen is your buttocks will move the block underneath you. So making sure that that block's not going to fall over. Draw that thigh in towards the armpit. And then extend the leg. So it kind of extends all the way along and it's hovering off of the mat. So it's a little bit of core work. So we're going to do that once more. Draw the knee in towards the armpit. And then extend. It hovers parallel to the mat. That's it. And then from there, we lift that leg all the way up towards the sky. So it's a single leg bridge. Taking a gaze at the toes, point and flex the foot and circle out through the ankle. Feel the heaviness of the leg coming down in towards the hip. And then from here, extend the leg all the way to the floor. So the heel rests down onto the floor. Dropping down through that quad, through that right hip flexor, through the psoas, through the intercostals. Give in to the weight of that leg. And I can really feel that stretch there in that hip flexor. I don't know where you can feel that, but that's where my target area is. As well as obviously in the back bend as well. We're in a back bend. And if the arms, again, aren't comfortable up above the head, take them down by the side of the body. Gently breathe in, bring that right leg back. Place it down, plant it, make sure that block's nice and stable underneath you. Draw the left knee in. Squeeze the knee to the armpit. Good. And then extend. And that's parallel to the mat. Nice. Draw the knee in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then extend. And then lift the leg up towards the sky. Find that single leg bridge. Drop the hip down, flexing, pointing through the ankle, rotations, drawing big circles in the air with the big toe. And then lengthen that leg all the way along to the floor, dropping that left heel down gently and releasing the weight across the central band of the hips and pelvis. Feel where the target areas come for you. Relax that left leg, relax the glutes, and then gently bring that left leg back and relax back into your supported bridge. If you like, you can stay in supported bridge for the last 5 breaths, or you can extend both legs into pontoon, giving all the body weight across that block. Again, arms might not be above the head. They might be down by the side of you. Palms are gently face up. Last 5 breaths in this pontoon, passive back bend. Bring the right leg back. Bring the left leg back. Take your time, flip the palms over by the hips, lift the hips, find a bridge pose. First of all, engage glutes, engage hamstrings and core. And then slide that block away from underneath you and slowly, with control, roll down each and every vertebra of the spine, one after the other. Try not to miss any of them out. Keep scooping out the belly, rounding out the spine. We're still rolling. I'm about mid-back. Where are you? I'm about lower back. Where are you? And then it comes all the way down. And you can relax and draw the knees in gently. Coming from a back bend, this would technically be like a forward folds or a child's pose. So just roll out nice and gently. And do what you need to do here. We're going to make our way into our final relaxation in one moment. So do what the body is saying it needs after particularly spending quite a bit of time in that supported bridge and pontoon. So if you need to do happy babies, if you need to do twists, if you need to do butterflies, if you just need to lie down. And start to come into a comfortable, easy shavasana, whether that's with bolsters underneath the knees, or you could use blocks if the corners of the blocks aren't digging in. Spread the shoulders, spread the back. Take the feet wide, take the arms nice and wide of the hips, but not too high of the shoulders. Let the toes relax out, let the ankles soften. That in turn relaxes the shins and the calves. The knees aren't gripping. Thighs are relaxed. hamstrings are soft. And you're really beginning to let go of the lower part of the body. The hips, buttocks, pelvis releases tension. Back might be naturally arching away from the floor. The belly is soft. We don't need to hold or control the belly. It just breathes in and out, rises and falls. The lungs fill with the breath in, the rib cage expands, and you feel that breath front, back, and sides. We soften across the shoulders, the chest, the arms become a little bit heavier. The wrists relax, the palms are open, fingertips gently curling in. Neck is soft, long, and relaxed, and the facial expression is one of contentment, one of joy, one of acceptance, and one of relaxation. Making any final adjustments, finding stillness in mind and body as we come to our reward of our Shavasana at the end of our practice, our heart-centered Santosha practice for joy, contentment, and acceptance of what is and what we have and what we are capable of. I'll leave you for a few moments of silence and I'll let you know when it's time to come back around. Beginning to take a few deeper breaths, bringing your awareness back into your space, back onto the mat, back into the body, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. Stroking the thumbs with the tips of the fingers, bringing the feet together, pointing the toes, stretching the legs, lifting the arms up. Big, big stretch. And then gather the knees in and gently roll and massage out through the spine. A lot of back bends and forward folds today. Just honoring the body before coming back into your day, taking time to roll over to one side. Give yourself a little gentle press. And just return up to a comfortable seat, whatever that is for you today, maybe cross-legged, butterfly. And just bring the hands across the chest here, across the heart space, one on top of each other. Just take in how you feel, mentally, emotionally, physically, and of course, spiritually. Remind yourself of your own personal intention for your practice today, one around the theme of Santosha, one of the 8 limbs of yoga, the Niyamas, guidelines that were written over 3,000 years ago that are still so relevant today in modern life. One of contentment, acceptance, and finding joy in what is and what we have and what we are capable of. Not constantly striving for more, wanting more. Be content with what is and take your intention out into your daily life, sharing it with others. Always thank yourself, your body, your breath, and your energy for your practice today. And I thank you so much. Namaste.